Thank you. Let me start by saying that indeed there has always been a Sunni-Shia divide. We are also facing a Sunni-Sunni divide we have to be aware of, and that is definitely complicating the picture in the region and far beyond. Let me also share with you something that many of our friends, partners in the region, in the Muslim world, share with us, that there is not so much a religious confrontation, but a political confrontation that uses the religious or sectarian divide to its own purposes. And that Sunni and Shia live together in many places in the world, including Europe, and have done so for centuries before this turn of politicization of the sectarian divide came to the stage. And so I believe that our role here can be to help and facilitate a wise investment in what some of you defined as a collective security architecture in the region. That is really what could be the way forward to guarantee peace and security to a region that is crucial to the world. And it is exactly this lack of vision of a common security architecture that is probably amplifying these tensions in a very dangerous way. How can we help in this respect? That is also something that is of our direct interest to facilitate. First of all, some of you said not taking side. We have good, rather good, depending on how you see it. Anyway, we have relations, working relations, channels open, channels that in some cases work, both with Iran and with Saudi Arabia. And for sure, the implementation of the deal we have with Iran on its nuclear program opens up further possibilities for our bilateral relations with Iran to develop. We have relations with Iran and with Saudi Arabia that we can use with a clear agenda that we have to keep clear to our partners and to the other actors in the region. That includes different aspects, including the bilateral confrontations that are taking place now, including the regional dynamics, including the need to invest in political solutions to the many crises we have in the region, including the need to strengthen the resilience of key countries that are particularly exposed to this political use of sectarian divides, as in the case of Iraq, as in the case of Lebanon and others, including also internal developments of the countries, including also human rights that are always on the agenda whenever we discuss, both with our Saudi Arabian partners and with our Iranian partners. And let me say to those of you that mentioned the issue of the oil, that probably we have to update, you have to update your reflections on this, because I believe the oil prices that the world is facing today put us in a completely different situation, also in our relation with the Gulf. Indeed, we have a political agenda, we have clear political agenda, no taboos, everything is on the table, and somehow we are in a privileged situation when it comes to talking with our partners in the region, because, again, our agenda is clear, transparent, coherent, and yes, indeed, there are some different economic or trade agendas of some of our member states, but as the European Union, we do not have something like that. So we have somehow more margins for manoeuvre in having a political discourse with them. So I believe we have definitely to continue to invest in our relations with Iran, with Saudi Arabia, first of all with the people of these two countries, in all different forms we can put in place, and continue our work on two essential lines of our external action, of our foreign policy. On one side, the full respect of international law, and the second one is something that is on top of our agenda, not only with Saudi Arabia, not only with Iran, but also with many other countries in the world. That is our work for the abolishment of the death penalty in the world. That is based on our principles, on our practice, and also on our experience that tells us that this is not effective. It's not only something we believe it's inhuman, but it's also not effective in preventing or fighting crime, including fighting terrorism. So let me thank you for the support you've given to our lines of action in this respect. I think this will be helpful on the way forward, and let me thank you again for the contribution to our work in this region that is so crucial and so close to not only our heart but also to our direct interests when it comes to security and stability. Thank you.
Mogherini, the debate is closed. Ja seuraavana esityslistalla on